Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Appopedia. I'm Ratna. As you know that I completed some certification like Salesforce Administrator, Salesforce Industries, CPQ Developer, Omni Studio Developer. So these I done, and some certification needed after some duration of time. They needed a maintenance model to be complete to be like that certification. So that maintenance I have on the administrator certification. So let's complete this one, and I wanted to share the thing to you guys. So that's why I thought to do the challenges on this entire model, maintenance model together. So this is the model. So read out this thing. It's a simple thing to complete, and this is the original model. So as you can see, I read somehow all the theory part, and I consider also done that, and then come back with me to do challenges because theory is might be boring when I record all this thing. It's a simple language to understand, and I consider you will definitely able to understand. Still you have any doubt in the part, let me know in the comment box, and I will try to solve your queries as soon as possible. Okay, so in this model they talk about targeted prompt and the dynamical chart. There involve the experience, performance, and ultimate developer, editor, and some part of performance rating and record metric. These things involved when we are using application which was built on Vlocity and Salesforce. So this will come up with the dynamical chart, and then after they talk about the clear workspace app for the new console session. New console session like that, whenever we try to build a lightning app builder. Inside the app builder there is one option for app to be clear out. It's just like a clear castings, and then the clear the workspace tab for new console session. So these things is a basic things to be read out and understand how can personalize your application which is built in the lightning builder. So these things we have to be read out and understand it. And then they are talk about the flow triggering explorer and record trigger those. So these things they talk about where why and where we have to be read out, and somehow they talk about that Salesforce class, professional, enterprises, performance rating, and this was involved in the flow builder. If you read about the flow builder and process builder, then you will be able to understand flow trigger explorer. As I considered you will have the knowledge of flow builder and process builder. If you don't have, I already recorded that on my channel. Go and watch that builder as well. And there is some somehow we created. I just give you the overview on that flow trigger explorer and record trigger explorer. So what we have to do, like whenever we created a flow builder for any operations we handle on it, so that have the authority to have the start record trigger. So there is, you can see the start button is always there in the flow builder on the first page. So this is the record trigger flow. Inside it there is one option for open flow trigger explorer for account, and whenever we try to trigger that trigger explorer, it will directly come up with a setup page, and there we have to be perform some operation like what things to be trigger on the flow builder. According to that we have to be like whenever opportunity call, the record will be updated. So this is the scenario we wanted to be trigger in the trigger flow trigger explorer. So that will happen according to the fast field update or action related records or runs asynchronous. So these things will be handled in the flow trigger explorer, and this will come under in the flow builder. Okay, so that you have to be, and whoever completed the administrator, I really consider that themselves have be aware of flow builder and other part of things which is basic, and that was a topic involved in the administrator. So I could consider that. And then after they talk about that flow details and versions. So whenever any flow we can create, there is all for a setting, and then have the details of it. So you can, these things you need to be floated. And then they talk about restriction rules. Restriction rules is based on the whenever we try to create any field or any application or any lighting wave app or anything which wanted to be share across all the like output or input like that things, then we have to be restrict the rule where up to where you wanted to say that. It's just like setting up the restriction rule will prevent the user from accessing the record that can be sensitive data or information that doesn't needed to be sensitive to their work. So these things you wanted to be restrict that application or field to be shared, that to be not allowed that person or that user we don't want to be say that things to be that person. So that for that reason they used to be solve about that restriction rule. Okay, it's based on the organization wide sharing default. It's just like you can see object organization setting, sharing mechanism, and then so in this way they will work sharing gent access and then the result set. and then in this between both things there is one restriction, so that will be handling both the way up to where they wanted to be share that thing. So this they talk about, and just read out this, so simple and able to understand, I guess. So then after the restriction will have some following Salesforce features like view, lookup, related list, report, Salesforce object query language, Salesforce object search language. So these things you can be able to understand. And then after one simple test cases I wanted to be clear, call it, and then let's see this how we can able to achieve this one. So what they're saying, we have to go into the object manager, and then we have to go into the task. Let's go into the task. Let's go into the setup first, and then we have to be check that restrict rule. We will create a new restrict rule for the particular application or field, or somehow some data to be restricted by use of this rule. So now we have to go into the object, and then we have our task, okay, and then task having the restrict rule. This is the standard object, okay, and then inside it we have a restrict rules object. Okay, so inside restrict rule, as you can see, organization wide sharing, that set default access level for an object called, and then share mechanism, configure roles for hierarchy, sharing rules and other. So this is the sharing giant. Like this is the organization wide share. If you remember, whenever we create a lightning app page, and then we have to be share or app, we wanted to share it. So whenever we share, before that it option to be before activating only, it get one option where up to where you wanted to show that or visual to that application on certain page or certain level, like user level or all user or admin, only system admin, like this, right? So this will come up under the sharing part or activation part. Now we have to be restrict this rule, making this rule to be up to there it should be highlighted or it should be visible for that case. Okay, so now we will keep that restriction rule task. Okay, now keep any name you can put that reason. That's restriction rule for keep Appopedia. Okay, and then it will as you know that full name is always like for this case it's considered for a API, so API will directly face the name. Okay, now is active. Now what they're saying, the next they are saying select is active, right? Select is active as well, and then they are saying for user criteria, select user to be restrict the applies. Now we can understand what user you wanted to restrict, permission restrict user criteria, so you just select the criteria users, and then any user you wanted to be keep. Then let's select that sign, let's find that one, add account active, anything. Let's select fact. Okay, and then select this facts and choose. Okay, and then value you want to do. So in this way you can keep. For record also, for record type it's only record type, and then we have to be select the field. Let's do any of the select field, like let's call that due date only, and then choose, and then date will be what the value will be, the date. Whatever the value of user is there, the fact value is there, you wanted to restrict that will not show for this. The restriction rule will be work on that particular field or application that we handle. Okay, and then we have to save it. So like this we can create a restriction action as we haven't have any of the value, or I need to be check, like let me go to the user account or how, or we can directly, if for the fax number we can keep 1 2 3 4 5, so whatever the fax user have a fax ID or number, that must be not equal to this. If it is there, then restrict rule will handle, it will directly restrict that. Okay, and then the date should be, let's keep 12/01/12 Jan 1998. Okay, so like this we can keep somehow. Valid condition fulfilled. Okay, the record. Because the date can't be. Let's select the archive, and that value is boolean, so we select true. Let's keep true. If it is true, it will not come. Let's see. So now this is the restricted rule is already created. Now whenever the state user fax number is this one, it will directly apply this restricted rule, and whenever the is achieved is there, then it should not be true. It should be, if it is false, it will always work without having any involvement in the restricted rule. If it is true, then it will directly involve. So in this way we can create a task, a restricted rule. So let's go into the next challenge, and I will meet you in the next video, and there we will solve this challenge. Okay, till then subscribe to my channel, stay tuned with me. If you have any doubt or anything related with the Salesforce, Vlocity or any other technology, till then subscribe to my channel. I will meet you in the next video. Bye bye.